this is Arna with the BGC, and I'm here with my guest, John. John, if you don't mind introducing yourself.
Hi, my name is John Chapman, and I'm a high school teacher in Calgary.
Cool. So you already answered my first question. What you do for a living is you're a high school teacher. What do you teach?
I teach sciences, generally general science and chemistry, but also some CTS stuff like forensic studies on occasion.
Cool. And why did you originally get into teaching?
I always thought it would be cool to help kids. I had a really good teacher when I was in high school, and I found it kind of inspiring. And I don't know, when I was studying chemistry when I was in university, I was like, I like this lab stuff, but teaching it to other people I think would be a lot more fun. So I found it interesting, but it's not where I want my career to go. I like working with people.
Awesome. What does the day-to-day look like for you?
Um, Well, it's pretty widely variable. I usually get in pretty early to get prepared for a day, write down an agenda, and then go through whatever lesson is planned, depending upon what that is. Currently teaching two sections of Science 10 and one section of Forensic Studies. I usually go in and do like a four-way chunked lesson in Science 10 with just like some practice, a little bit of lecture and helping kids out. And then Forensic Studies is a little bit different because it's an option course that involves a lot of self-directed learning and then just activities that I direct in class. So it's pretty variable throughout the day. And then afterwards, after school, I just do some like logistical work, like anything that's like paperwork necessary that I need to be doing, or takes a little bit of time to do some marking or something like that. And then I get done. But I think the in-between is kind of the best part of the day-to-day, is like when kids are working, when kids are practicing, I'm just kind of walking around, checking to see what they're doing, having a chat with them, trying to build and establish those good, strong relationships with the kids, making fun of them lightly on occasion, depending upon, getting made fun of more frequently and usually better. So, yeah.
Totally. And you said you'd go over whatever lesson is planned. Uh, do you plan lessons in your day-to-day, or when do you have time to plan lessons?
A lot of the time, especially for something like Science 10, I've taught it a fair number of times now. Our lesson plans are either are usually just reviewed stuff from like last semester or previous time that we've run the course. I work with two other teachers right now in the building that teach Science 10 as well, and we all contribute usually to lesson plans and like the day-to-day of what we're actually planning to do on our prep. And also we plan out most of the semester, I guess, in advance, kind of between semesters or in the first few days in the summer. And then as we move forward in kind of our areas of specialization, we each kind of contribute the plans in specificity for those days, just in prep time, if we have it kind of a few days beforehand. So we do usually have at least one of us will have a prep. Currently, I have a prep this semester, and so does one of the other teachers, but one of the other teachers teaches all 4 periods a day. So we help that teacher out with his lessons to make sure that he's not overwhelmed with work and stuff, and then he returns the favor if either of us end up in that position as well.
Awesome. And what type of training or schooling did you need in order to work as a teacher?
So I had to become a certified teacher by Alberta Education, which requires a bachelor's degree in education, which can be done in a variety of ways. You can take a Bachelor of Education as an after degree, which means that you would have a different degree in a field of study beforehand. Like you went and did marine biology or something, and then you took that and applied to an after degree, and then you would do 2 years to get an after degree in education. Or you could do some sort of combined or concurrent degree program, which would only be 4 or 5 years, but would sometimes would just give you the degree in education, and sometimes would get you 2 degrees, one in education, one in your other area of studies. Really depends upon the institution that you go to, but usually it's between 4 and 6 years, depending upon the path that you actually take to get it.
Awesome. How do you go about getting a job in the field?
Work like crazy, sub like you mean it. You get onto a sub list in a district or two districts close to where you are, and then you sub like crazy. And when you're subbing, you work hard and you know, sell your skills and stuff, and you make sure that you're like a person that is kind of sought after, like you're an excellent sub, because those people are the type of people that typically get hired when there's vacancies and stuff. So sub like crazy, work hard and make sure that you show the value that you have as a teacher, especially in establishing relationships with students, because that's real hard to do as a sub because you're only in there for a limited amount of time. But if you can do it, it shows that you've got an incredible skill that's really necessary for when you're moving forward working with kids.
Awesome. So subbing is almost like a job interview to a certain extent, or your opportunity to make an impression on the administration.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the pre-job interview.
And what are some of the challenges you've faced in this career?
I think probably some of the most challenging stuff is just uh, things to do with the art of teaching as opposed to the science. When you're in school and you're doing your university work for education, it can be really hard to get a feel for the importance of establishing relationships and stuff with students, and the understanding that that is the key skill that you need to work with. So the challenges are also usually the most blessed parts, right? Because you get kids that you have difficulty establishing a relationship with or something like that, and it's possibly those people that might need that relationship the most, and it's challenging sometimes to work with people, but understanding that you took this upon yourself because you need to be there for some people. It's difficult, but that's super rewarding. So it's probably just making sure that you're always on top of those interpersonal relationships and trying to do a really good job of establishing strong connections.
Awesome. Do you have any advice or tips for youth who might be interested in becoming teachers? What would you tell someone who's like brand new to this?
I'd hammer it home. I'd just say make sure that you're establishing good relationships, because you in terms of practice, in terms of pedagogy, the being a teacher stuff, you're always going to make mistakes and be able to do better in terms of how you design your lessons and execute stuff and explain things to kids. But when you have a strong relationship with a group of students, they're way more likely to be on board with you screwing up and going, kids, I screwed up. And I do it all the time because I screw up a lot. And they're like, you know what? It's fine because you're okay. We'll deal with you, even though you're screwing up. And that makes it for a more memorable and lucid learning experience anyway. So if you make sure that you're, human, you're really human to the kids, and you're establishing that like you're also a learner and you will be forever, it makes it a lot easier for them to own mistakes that they've made and learn from those.
Awesome. Do you have any final comments here, or?
I don't know that I do. I would just say more stuff about relationships, but that's just because I love my kids a lot. So I'm happy to be here and answer questions, and I hope that I said some stuff that was helpful. But yeah, no, I hope that if you want to go into this career because you want to, help people and make an impact and work with people, I think that's the best possible place to start that you can have.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you doing this. To any of the youth who maybe have questions for John, feel free to submit those on our website, and I'd be happy to forward them to him. Or if we have like a billion questions for him, it might be worth booking a separate Zoom session so you can ask him directly. Otherwise, I'd like to remind youth that we are posting videos throughout the week, so stay tuned because we're going to have lots of exciting careers being posted. Yeah, thank you so much, John.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.